Trumpet number 1. I think it doesn't say directly, but when you read what comes before and after, I think it can only be interpreted as a volcanic eruption. And this also parallels with the plagues of Egypt in Exodus, yeah? All those plagues following a volcanic eruption, yeah, in the Mediterranean, and yeah, the effects of which drifting down towards Egypt. Okay. So, trumpet number 1. I believe will be Yellowstone volcano. Why? Because God is really upset with these guys here, the USA. What are they doing to humanity with all this idolatry? It's terrible. It's terrible. Well, they won't learn their lesson. They won't learn their lesson, and they will recover, the Bible says. So there we have it. The reason I think number 1, number 2, number 4 are all because of this volcanic eruption here is, I mean, I love this verse just before. And the angel took the censer and it filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth, and there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. Casting fire into the earth. I went over this already. If you haven't had a chance, watch the other videos before this. Great mountain burning with fire. The hail and fire mingled with blood. Yeah? Hail and fire mingled with blood. Well, you get hailstorms in volcanic eruptions, after volcanic eruptions, and considering this is a volcanic eruption, there's going to be fire mingled with blood as well, known as lava. Yeah? This explains why we have hail and fire mingled with blood in the same disaster here. A third part of the sea becoming blood. Great mountain burning with fire, and third part of the sea becoming as blood in the very same verse. Okay, so the sea becoming as blood is because of this volcanic eruption. This is scientifically proven. Volcanic eruptions can do this to water, turn it bright red, because of the chemical effects in the water. Okay. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. Third part of sea life dead. And also the ships. Why will they die? Because the water is poisonous, yeah? because of this. Ships, third part of ships, okay, will be destroyed. And you think, well, hang on, why will a third of all ships be destroyed? Doesn't really seem to make sense that a third of them around the world, how's that going to happen? And I suddenly realised, again, if this makes the waters acidic, then this acidity, okay, it's going to corrode the metal on all the ships, right? The water's going to be like acid, and all the ships will sink that are in the water. Yeah? That was the only way I could make any sense of that. So that's my theory on that one. And then we have the great star falling from heaven. This is the third trumpet sound of the angels. And this star is known as Wormwood, okay, or bitterness in the Greek translation. And wormwood, it's used in the Old Testament as well. It was like a poison, a bitter drink, made people sick, and it's essentially a plague, okay. And what do we know in the universe, stars arriving that can cause plagues? And if you read my book, I've gone over that. Throughout history, comets have always preceded plagues and wars. So we're looking at most likely a comet arriving, carrying with it deadly bacteria, yeah, because they're made up of ice, and bacteria, extremophiles, can withstand the extreme conditions of outer space. They will travel, piggyback these comets, and then when that enters our atmosphere, yeah, because they melt, don't they, comets, and you have this shooting star-like effect, like Halley's Comet. Then when that deadly bacteria enters our atmosphere and it rains, okay, across the world, then this is going to make the sea toxic again, okay, polluted, and that will affect us, okay. We will get sick, there will be plagues, yeah. And then the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, third part of the moon, third part of the stars, and the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. This will be, most likely again, I don't know for sure, but there has been a great mountain burning with fire going off, yeah. Second trumpet, well, first trumpet and second, I believe. Yeah, this huge volcanic ash cloud will blanket the earth. We won't be able to see the sun, the moon and the stars in a third part of the world.